on, come back for it. Come on, one more time. One more time. Hit it 3 times. There, he got him. Yep. There we go.
And I'll show you the technique I'm using to get these fish.
Yeah, it's a lightning. There we go.
When you have a soft tip on a rod, they typically call that a medium action.
Real pretty fish.
They were into the brights on this day.
Yeah. Got a mac and cheese. Come on, come back. Come on, one more time. One more time. Hit it 3 times. There, got him. Yep. I think it's a lightning. Yeah, it's a lightning. Like a 4-pounder. On Miss Madonna. I haven't caught a lightning in a minute. Yeah, chunky bro. There we go. Yeah. There we go, pretty little lightning. There she goes.
Dude, it's like 9 pounds.
Coming.
Easy 9 pounds. Dude, he's pushing 10.
Yeah, it looks big. I saw the back.
That's how you see him, dude. This might be on new PB. Get that thing.
Wow. Dude.
Alright, guys. See this?
Yeah, it's at least 8 or 9. Yeah. Chunky bro.
Sorry, guys. No, you're good.
You're fine. There we go.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I got one right now. On that mac and cheese. Oh shit. Yeah, I love catching them.
Well, popped right out. Look at that. There we go. Pretty little fish.
Holy ravioli!
All right, guys, going to take a quick break from the video to show you what's going on out there. As always, I'm going to start with the rod and reel I'm using. This here is a Katana K4. It's a 7'6" rod. It's an ultralight rod. It's got a stiff backbone and a very soft tip. So when you have a soft tip on a rod, they typically call that a medium action. And when it's stiffer and a little bit more resilient, it's a fast action. So this, I kind of call this a medium fast action. I have it paired with a Shimano Stella 1000. And spooled on here, I have Sinister Strand Premium Fiber Braid and 4-pound. I run that up to a leader of 5-pound Runkle Power Fluoro. And my leader length is typically about 5 to 6 feet on these ultralight setups. And this rod is primarily my mini jigging rod. I have one of the new Katanas on order, so I'm going to get that very soon, and I'll probably start using that one instead of this one. And this will be more of a backup. The biggest thing when you're throwing mini jigs, you don't have to have a setup like this. This is a custom setup. It's very pricey. I fish a lot, as you guys know, so I decided to spend the money and get some really, really nice equipment. However, you can throw mini jigs and be very successful on budget gear. All you need is an ultralight rod that's about 7'6" to 8 foot in length, and a 1000 series spinning reel. And the biggest thing to throw these jigs, because they're very light, is a good line. You can use Iser line 2-pound smoke, or you can get the Sinister Strand in 4-pound and have the same line setup I do. It's not very expensive at all, and you can put that on any rod and reel, and that's going to help you get the casts that you want and make it easier to do your returns and feel the fish, especially if you have this braid on here. Now let's go to the bench, and I'll show you all the baits I use and how I rig them up. Now in the morning, what I was using was a Minnow, a Spartan Minnow, and this one is Madonna, and this one worked very well. Esteban was having a lot of success using a mini jig called Bubblegum, and that's a pink and white one, just a little bit lighter pink than this one, than the Madonna, but he was using that and getting fish right away, so I switched to the Madonna in the Minnow form and ended up hooking up that Lightning and a couple others. Now later in the day, they didn't seem to be hot on these minnows. They got hot on the mini jigs themselves. This one's yellow and white. We refer to it as mac and cheese. It's kind of a nickname. But good old yellow and white works pretty much everywhere, anytime. Any lake, whether it's the Sierras or down here in our murky water. If you aren't sure, throw on a yellow and white and you got a good chance of getting bit. The other one that was working well was Big Stick. I caught a few later in the day on Big Stick, and it's real bright and orange and yellow. And what this shows me is all these colors are very bright. So they were into the brights on this day. I don't believe I ended up throwing any darks just because the brights were working well, and we were already off the water, I think, by noon, which is about the time, usually late afternoons, when I start throwing my darks and my blacks. But very bright colors were working there in the morning, which is typical of most lakes, but definitely a pattern formed up there. How you rig these is completely different, but you fish them just the same. There's a little bit of confusion. A friend of mine was trying to fish mini jigs, and he had a ball head on his skirted mini jig here, and he didn't understand that there were different weights for each type of bait. So let me explain it to you. These ball head weights are designed for minnows, and you can even use worms on them, like Powerball worms or inch worms. And they're designed so the bait goes right up to the base of this weight and snugs up. Now these mini jig weights are designed to go inside the tube of the tube bait, because these mini jigs are basically a tube. There's a tube in there, and this is supposed to be completely hidden, and only the eye of the hook is supposed to stick out here. Now there's two different sizes that we typically use with the mini jigs and the ball heads. It's the 32nd and the 1/16th, and you can see the 32nd is a little bit smaller and the 1/16th is a little bit bigger, because the 1/16th is a hair heavier, right? Typically you're going to want to use a 1/32 because it gives it your jig a lot more action, Gives it a much slower presentation. You can do a lot of pauses and let the thing slowly fall, and the trout really seem to like that. The 16th, you have to typically work it back more steadily because the drop rate is a lot greater because it's obviously heavier. So I don't usually do a lot of pauses with the 16th. I usually use the 16th when I'm in really deep water, or in this situation, it wasn't very deep, but it was very windy. So I needed that 16th to make sure I can make some accurate casts. Now I'll show you how to rig these tubes up onto these lead heads, and we'll use the 16th. And there's two ways to do it. And basically the way I always do it is I go through the skirt side and I put the eye of the hook in here first. And you have to be very careful when you're inserting these so you don't tear your jig. And I carefully slide the jig on there. And then I use my thumb. Once it's all the way at the top, I just push, and that eye of that hook comes right through. Whoop, and it ends up looking just like that. Now another way to do it, and a lot of guys do this so they don't have to retie in order to change colors, is you can go through the top portion of the jig with the hook. So this way, if your line is tied on here, you don't have to untie. You can just carefully take the jig body off, and you can save it and reuse it and get a new color. Now what you do is you go on the top, but not right in the middle, on the side, wherever you want that eye of that hook to pop out, and carefully insert the hook and slide it down the tube without re-puncturing the tube until you get out the bottom of the skirt like that, and then you carefully slide the jig rubber over the head of the jig lead. See? And it turns out just like that. So you can just pop these deals out. You just pull the head back carefully to expose that lead like that, and then just carefully slide it out and slide that hook out, and your jig body is just fine. So if you're going to reuse this, you're going to want to try and find, you're not going to be able to see it on camera, where the hole was, and just reinsert, and you'll have a good chance of not tearing the jig, and then you can get a lot more use out of it. Now with the minnows and the ball head weights or jig heads, what I like to do is you got to look at the minnow, and the straight part is what I consider the spine. On these Spartan minnows, they have little bumps that I call scoots, so it's easy to find. And the bottom half has a rounded part, which I consider the minnow's belly. So what we want to do is stick it through the proverbial nose of the minnow, right here at the uppermost portion of the minnow, and slide it on just where it starts going around the bend like that. And then keeping the minnow straight as possible, slowly push that hook right through the spine and slide it all the way up to the lead head. So it's just like that. And that's all there is to it. All right, now let's go back to the water, and I'll show you the technique I'm using to get these fish, and go over a little game film, if you will. All right, guys, here I am casting out. We got a 1/16 ounce ball head minnow going, and I want you to notice the reel speed first. I'm going very slow, even though it's a 16th ounce ball head. It's not exceptionally deep here. And with the rod, I'm doing nice slow bounces. Everything's very deliberate and repetitive. I'm not doing any pauses because I got that 16th on there. And if you remember, this is the first clip in the video. I start getting bit, and I start talking about having the fish bite one more time. When that happens, just keep your retrieve steady, just like I am. Don't change anything, and the fish will keep hitting it until they hook up. And right there, you see, I get the hook up. So just be patient, especially when you get bit. Sometimes you'll set the hook, and sometimes you go right back into the retrieve, and the fish will still be there and come back after it. So if you set the hook and miss it, doesn't mean it's over. So stick with it, keep it slow and deliberate, and you'll be just fine.
I think it's a lightning too. Yep, lightning.
No, it's not. It's the color of that water with the sun. It looks yellow. Yeah. And he's all wrapped up. There you go. Real pretty fish.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Like it's crazy.
Right now it's like peak time.
That, oh, right there. It's another lightning. Just a little one, I think.
This is a smaller one. Yeah. Oh no, it's a rainbow. Dude, I swear I saw it right here. It looked just like a lightning. Good Lord. Yeah. Back on mac and cheese.
All right, guys, there you have it. Great time out at Hemet. Love that lake, and I'm glad I got the chance to get back out there. And it was especially fun getting to use that Old Town autopilot kayak. Thing was so nice. I went home that night and bought my own. So in the future, I'm going to be doing a video, short video on my kayak and how I have it set up for trout. As if you look them up, there's not a lot of kayaks, if any, where they go over a trout setup. They're usually set up for bass or ocean fishing. But there was one thing I wanted to show you. SD caught an even bigger fish while we were out there, but some of the footage got corrupted. So here it is.
He's all over the place.
I'm just trying to get some shots.
He's nowhere near ready. Well, you stay away from there. He's all, I got this figured out.
Right.
Well, that thing is spinning around.
Ah, he wrapped himself? Yeah, he's a cutty. Damn, bro. That's a good one. That one might be a dub.
That one might be a dub.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was really awesome. That was right in the morning. He got that first toad you saw in the beginning of the video, and then got that one a few fish after, I believe. Just really set the tone for the day. I didn't get any real major toads, but I got a lot of fish, and I got some lightnings, and it was awesome. But biggest takeaway is when you're fishing in the wind, sometimes you got to use a little bit heavier weighted lures than you normally would. So that's why we're using the 1/16. The water there is fairly shallow. It's not real deep. There's a couple spots where it's a little bit deeper, but most of the fish we're holding in fairly shallow water. But with that wind, you kind of had no choice but to use the 1/16 as opposed to the 32nd. And we had to work them back, or at least I always work them back, and I can't do pauses like I like to do, because for me at least, doing pauses when you're working back a minnow or a mini jig on a 1/16 weight just doesn't seem to get the same reaction that I would with a 32nd. So just got to do a straight retrieve and basically do whatever the fish want. Be willing to adjust and try different retrieve styles until you start getting bit, and that's what we're doing. And as you can see, we had success. So with that, if you want any of the fine Golden State fishing products I use on this channel, or the Waterland sunglasses, or the Katana rods, there's a QR code right up here. If you click on that, it'll take you to a link tree, and it has links and discount codes and everything all right in there. So all you got to do is click, and shop and follow the prompts, and you'll get discounts like Golden State Fishing. If you use code CSpanker, you get 10% off. And with Waterland, if you use the hyperlink provided in this link tree, you get 15% off your purchase. So real great deal, and they're awesome products, or I wouldn't use them. So with that, next big thing is the Sierra Opener Fishmas. It'll be a few days after this video comes out. Make sure you guys, if you guys are going up there, stop by Ernie's in June Lake. We're going to be out there between 3 and 6, I believe, right out front, and answering questions and going over the baits. It's going to be myself, Esteban, and Art from the team. So any questions you have, just let us know, and we'll be there to answer your questions and help you out in any way we can and get you all prepared for the big opening day. So as always, make sure you like, subscribe, and share the channel. It really helps out. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave them here. I do my very best to get back to you and answer all the questions that I get. Sometimes it's a little difficult with family life, but I will get back to you. I promise. It takes me a day or two sometimes, but I will get back to you. So please be patient, and I'll do my best to answer your questions. So hope to see some of you guys out there up in the Sierras or anywhere else. And until next time, tie lines.